this is Spirit Blaze here with Flameclaw, and welcome to another episode of Talking Clans. Today's episode is going to be about Bluestar.
Hi guys. My first question for you is, why was Bluestar your favorite leader?
I wasn't a big reader when I started reading Warrior Cats, but when I first started reading it, Bluestar was my favorite character, like in the first series, just because she seemed so wise. Like before she went crazy, she seemed so wise and respected. And I actually kind of looked up to her. I was like, I wish I could be a little bit more like Bluestar. And because I was like, back in the days when I very first started reading Warrior Cats, I was kind of a bully in school. I didn't really have many morals. I was always annoying everybody. I was really immature. I was only about 11. Now I'm 17 and a half. But back then, like, I didn't really have any morals, and like when I started reading Warriors, I realized that cats had better morals than I did. Fictional cats. But I mean, Bluestar was like, to me, the most wise and respected character in the series. So she was kind of like somebody I looked up to, even though she is fictional. I was like, I wish I could be a little bit more like Bluestar. So I tried to change a little bit, and I actually tried to be a little bit like her before she went crazy. But even when she went crazy, I kind of understood it.
I mean, I understand why she went crazy, but it's her own fault. Because I was planning on talking about this later, but whatever. Like, I don't really like her because I love her, but I don't like some things about her. I don't like how she just blindly trusted Tiger Star when it was so obvious that he was the one plotting behind her back, and I mean, it was her own deputy. Like, she didn't even think it was suspicious that Redtail died, okay, Lionheart's death wasn't Tiger Claw's fault, but like, for example, Cinderpaw's accident and stuff like that, it was obvious.
Yeah. So, my first question for you is, what is your opinion on Bluestar's past?
Well, I actually really enjoyed reading Bluestar's Prophecy because Bluestar is also one of my favorite leaders since, I do manage a page about her. And I really liked her past because I finally got to know her sister better, and I got to know how she got to where she is now and why she went crazy. And to be honest, I think I understand her better now, but I don't really like how she acted like towards Crooked Star, and when they first met. She was like, "Oh, you're a good friend to me and everything." I actually shipped them for a while. And then when the battle came, she was like, "No, you're my enemy now. I have to kill you." Like, not really like that, but you know what I mean. And it was like really annoying. Like, you can't just turn to your friends. Like, yeah, it's a battle, but you don't have to be that aggressive. Since they were kind of really good friends in the beginning, and she just kind of turned on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is, like, with clan loyalty, though. I mean, you're not supposed to make friendships outside the clans, but I do get where you're coming from, being as she took Oakheart for her mate, so
Yeah.
her being that unfriendly, like, it's okay to make friends when you're a warrior outside of the clans, but it's more or less just to get to know your enemies.
Yeah, that's kind of what I don't like about clan life. It's like everyone in the clans is like friends, kind of, but you know that they'll turn on one another once. And it's just like when someone makes a new friend, it's just waiting for the moment until you have to turn on that friend. It's just kind of horrible, right. Especially for those forbidden couples.
Like, I mean, if I was a warrior, I would try not to make friends outside the clans, even if my mentor when I was an apprentice told me to make friends with cats from other clans just because it would give me a chance to get to know my enemies better. I don't think that I would talk to the cats from the other clans that much. That way I wouldn't have to like feel any guilt or regret for attacking them in a battle or something like that. Like, I would just
Yeah.
try to stay loyal to my clan, and the best way to do that would to be not to make any friends outside my clan.
Yeah, but it would be really hard because it's just like saying, let's go make friends like in the same country. You can't do that. I mean,
Right.
you can, but you know, it's kind of hard to just like stay to one territory, especially with clans because they always see each other at borders and
Right.
you know.
Well, luckily for us, our world is a little bit different from theirs because you're one of my best friends. You live in Croatia. My other best friend lives in Australia, and then another one of my best friends lives in Pennsylvania. Yeah, all of my best friends, like, I don't know any of them in person. So, I mean,
Yeah, neither do I.
I used to know my friend in Pennsylvania, but in real life. But that's a different story. We're getting a little bit off topic.
Yeah. As always. But anyway, my next question is a very interesting one in my opinion. What do you think would have happened if Thistleclaw became deputy instead of Bluestar?
I don't think that he would be. I don't think that. I don't know. I feel like he would have been. Of course, it would have been really, really bad. But he probably would have been a similar leader to what Mudclaw had been, had he became WindClan's leader instead of One Whisker.
Yeah.
I feel like he would start unnecessary battles, and unnecessary battles normally lead to unnecessary bloodshed and deaths. So
Yeah. But if you think about it, I don't think Mudclaw would have been like a bad leader because if you look at 1 star, he's not exactly a good leader, is he?
no,
I mean,
he's not the best leader, but I think he's still better than Mudclaw. Like, I trusted Tallstar when he made the decision to make One Whisker the deputy instead of Mudclaw, just because. And after Mudclaw's rebellion, I understood why he made that choice, because if Mudclaw had been, I know that Mudclaw would have been upset, but I just feel like if he had morals and was, that kind of cat that would
Yeah.
handle leadership well, I don't feel like he would have started a rebellion.
he wouldn't have, but maybe he would have, you never know. But when you think about it, you have to look at it from Mudclaw's side and from his point of view, and that is that he was deputy for how long?
Who?
Mudclaw. How long was Mudclaw deputy for? I think 2 books or more. A long time. And then imagine if you were like some co-manager in some company or something, and your boss would come up to you, hey, you can't be my co-manager anymore, you can't be my partner, you have to give your place up for someone else. And that's not, you would probably go and start a rebellion too or something. You wouldn't be very pleased with it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I would necessarily start a rebellion just because, I don't know, just Tallstar made that choice for a reason, just because Mudclaw would have probably been the same kind of leader Thistleclaw would. I don't know why though, I think Tiger Star would seem more, I don't know, power hungry than Thistleclaw, at least in Bluestar's prophecy, because like, I can't see, I don't know about you, even though Thistleclaw is the reason why Tigerclaw is evil the way he is, I just can't see him taking over all the clans, whereas I can see Tiger Star doing that. Like, I feel like Thistleclaw would cause, like, a lot of problems, and he'd probably cause a lot of battles, and he would be, like, a Broken Star type of leader and, like, drive out WindClan or something like that, but I feel like ultimately probably lead to his death somehow. Like, quickly.
Yeah, but, like, I don't think Mudclaw would have been that much Broken Star-ish.
No, not Mudclaw, but Thistleclaw, yeah.
Yeah, Thistleclaw, maybe not. He was very loyal to ThunderClan, and he loved Snowfur, which is something I just can't forget about. Like, he was a bad cat, kind of, but he was also a good cat in the sense that he really loved Snowfire. You know, he had feelings, whereas Tiger Star never had feelings.
Right.
You know, but it was all because of Thistleclaw that Tiger Star never had any feelings. So I guess, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I definitely think Bluestar would have made a better leader than Thistleclaw. I think she did make a better leader than what he could have been.
Yeah, but she had to give up her kids. I just wish that Sunstar wasn't so stupid. Like, he was like, oh my gosh, you can't be my deputy because you have kids.
Right.
Like, show yourself. I mean, now when Squirrelflight had kids, I mean, in the new series, when she's gonna have kids, like, Rebelstar is not gonna just throw her away because she has kids.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they're his kids. But
and Leafstar became leader and then had kids, and she was leader while taking care of kids. I just feel like I wish she could have done that. She could have worked it. I know for sure she probably could have worked it out, but you know.
Yeah.
She just wanted to do what was best for her clan, but she might have not made the best decision by giving up her kids. Like, I feel like maybe she could have hid them somewhere just for a while until she was made the deputy, and then she could be like, oh, I found my kids. You know, like something like that, only more complicated and a little bit more intricate, you know. Because that's not very believable what I just said.
But how would that work out?
I don't really know. Like, she could have somebody watch that. She could take them to Two Legs.
No, she could have just give them to someone in the nursery to watch them while she did her duties or something. I don't know.
Right, but if Sunstar, say Sunstar was gonna be that way no matter what, and she had to get rid of the kids if she wanted to be the deputy, then I think she should have just got rid of them, not permanently, just temporarily until she became deputy, and then pretended to find them again. I mean, what would the clan do?
Nothing.
Exactly. There's nothing that they can really do, and they can't be angry that she found her kits, because kits are a good thing. Kits are wonderful. Everyone loves kittens.
Yeah, because they're so cute and fluffy. But I really don't think that it would work what you said, but it could maybe.
Yeah.
It all depends on the clan, and because if you look at Sunstar's behavior, I don't think that he would allow her to stay deputy because he was kind of stupid like that.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to any Sunstar fans, I actually quite like him in some ways, but this is something I really hate about him, how he almost stopped Bluestar from being deputy because of her kids. I mean, they were supposed to be his future warriors, you know?
Well, I don't really know if Sunstar has any fans because he's just not a popular character, but
I don't know. I mean, every character has fans, you never know.
Oh yeah, he probably has one or two.
Yeah.
One or two people watching this video are like, woohoo, Sunstar!
Yeah.
So, what are some cats that you ship with Bluestar?
Well, obviously Oakheart and Trushpelt. Oakheart a little bit more, just because I don't like the fact that Trushpelt was I think he was a lot older than Bluestar.
Yeah, that, like I said before, age doesn't really matter to me, especially, because they're cats, but I would have to agree with you just because I felt like Oakheart, had more in common with Bluestar and had the same type of personality she did.
Yeah, he really did.
They were just a little bit more compatible than what Thrushpelt would have been with Bluestar. That's just how I feel. But that doesn't mean I don't like Thrushpelt, because Thrushpelt was totally awesome.
He was, but I don't really when people say, "Oh my gosh, Thrushpelt should have totally ended up with Bluestar," he kind of did in the end.
Well,
you know?
I mean, they were never mates, but they were more like friends. I don't think they really ended up being together. They were just friends, but at the same time, like...
Yeah, but she was still more trash belts than Oakhearts in the end because they could never meet up. And that brings me to another subject. Like, how did Bluestar and Oakhart manage to, like, mate in one night and get kids? It's just kind of weird. It was never even said that they mated or anything. And it was just like, poof, she's pregnant.
Well, it never says that, but...
Yeah, but maybe it should, just so we know what's going on, you know?
When reading Bluestar's prophecy, I remember, like, the one part where they were together for, like, one night. They were, like, up in the trees, like, at, 4 trees. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, but, it would hard to be doing that without falling out of the trees, but, that's just my opinion. But,
anyways,
thanks StarClan that Thrushpelt didn't end up like Ashfur. I love Ashfur, but...
Yeah, that's another good argument against Ashfur. Thank you. You gave me a new argument against her.
Yeah, if Ashfur had been like Thrushpelt, I mean, I'd probably like him even more, but...
Yeah. But like Thrushpelt could have also gone crazy, but thank God he didn't.
Yeah.
He's a very good cat. I wish he didn't die when he did. Like Bluestar kind of needed him. She needed his support.
Yeah.
So my next question is, what are your opinions on the family of Bluestar?
She had a better mother than most leaders in the series. Maybe any leader in the series. I mean, I know she died, but before her death, Moonflower is like one of the best leader. One of the best leaders' parents that there were.
Yeah.
You know.
She really was. I really loved her, even though she had like quote unquote like a name that wasn't legit, like it wasn't allowed, kind of.
Yeah.
But like. She was really nice. I think that she had this really motherly personality, and I really wish that we could have gotten to know her more. Like, imagine if she had lived, she would have seen Bluestar, you know, through her warrior ceremony and everything, like her whole life, and Bluestar maybe would have never gone crazy.
Yeah.
Because her mother would be there.
Well, I'm sure her mother, like, looked down from StarClan, but it's not the same, you know? It wouldn't be the same to Bluestar.
I mean, she probably did look down, like, on her from StarClan, because I don't think Moonflower would just abandon, her kit. And she also had Moss Kit to look after later, so I think she also looked after Moss Kit. I have this cute image in my mind of Moonflower and Moss Kit playing in StarClan.
Yeah. I mean, Stormtail, I wasn't crazy about him, honestly. Her father was kind of, I don't know, didn't really have anything to do with her.
Yeah, true. But, like, Stormtail was really, really, really rude. Especially because he changed mates so quickly. I was like, hey, stop. You go back here, you love your daughter, not go off to some Dappletail or something. I hate him so much that I didn't even bother to remember his mate's name. I think it was Dappletail.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, he wasn't even sorry when Moonflower died, I don't think.
I can't remember. It's been a while. Bluestar's Prophecy was my favorite Warriors book, next to A Darkest Path. No, wait, I just mixed A Darkest Hour and A Dangerous Path, but A Dangerous Path was my second favorite, and Bluestar's Prophecy was my first. I really like Snowfur just because I feel like I can relate to her a lot in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she's really this nice character, and I just really wish that she didn't end up with Thistleclaw. She deserved a much better mate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, he was a good mate to her, but he was a rude ass in general, so.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's how I can relate to her, though.
Yeah.
Because Like I've been with somebody who people would say that about, but yet I still loved him, so that's why I kind of understand, like, I can understand Snowfur pretty well.
Yeah, now that you put it that way, I can relate to her in that way as well.
Yeah.
But one thing I really like about Snowfur is how she was like a really good sister, and even though Bluefur constantly judged her relationship with Hisoka, she never really hated on her for her opinion. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Right.
And she gave birth to one of the best cats ever, which is White Storm, and destroyed our ship with Bluestar. Like, I used to ship White X Blue all the time before.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I really love Snowfur. I really think that she shouldn't have died.
Yeah, I don't think she should have died either. I think it would have been interesting her meeting.
It's a stupid moment.
It would have been interesting for her to meet Fireheart and everything, and it would have been pretty cool.
I think she would have been the deputy.
Yeah, I think so too, maybe.
Imagine Snowstar or ThunderClan. But then there would be no Firestar or ThunderClan, probably.
Right.
But who cares? I mean, it's not that much of a deal, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she could have been the deputy and then got killed off, but it's better than her getting killed off so early.
Yeah. Yeah, totally better. I would really have enjoyed her in ThunderClan a little bit longer, because she's really awesome, and maybe she would have stopped Hisoka from becoming so evil and teaching Tiger Star all these bad things. Maybe she wouldn't have gone to the Dark Forest.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, why do you like Bluestar?
Well, for her, like, her way of thinking, like, I always thought of her as someone, like, really wise and, you know, smart, like, with a lot of knowledge and power. I really think of her as, like, some really powerful cat, like, skilled cat, you know.
Yeah.
Like, she knows a lot of things. Like, despite her bad life and everything, she managed to move on and lead her clan well until she went crazy.
Yeah, I feel the same way about her.
But then she went crazy, and then I started disliking that phase of her. That phase is just, I can't stand crazy Bluestar. She's just really annoying. Because she's like, oh my gosh, everyone left me. And I'm like, no one left you. You think everyone left you, but you're wrong. Just think about it. And then when she dies, she's like, oh yeah, I realized you were all loyal. And I'm like, well, good morning to you. Where were you for the last, like, I don't even know how long she was crazy, like 3 moons or something? And she was crazy? More. And I'm like, where were you for these, like, 3-4 moons while you were crazy? You could have realized that much sooner. You could have not gotten betrayed by Tiger Claw. You could have banished him much sooner.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Do you think Fireheart was sort of a replacement for the kids Bluestar gave up?
I think that he kind of was, because, like, I don't think that she had to give those kids up, as I said earlier. I don't feel like she had to give them up, but I definitely feel like she kind of treated him as a son.
Yeah, and, like, Bluestar and Yellowfang were Firestar's adopted mothers.
Yeah,
basically.
I felt like that too. It was so cute.
Yeah, it was, like, so adorable, and I just really loved the fact that Bluestar was Firestar's mentor, and I really like how when he came into StarClan to receive his 9 lives, she was like, welcome Fireheart, my apprentice, my deputy, my warrior, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such an awesome quote. I really like that quote because it really shows the bond between Bluestar and Firestar.
Yeah.
And I imagine them hunting in StarClan together and, you know, having fun. The same with Yellowfang. Yellowfang was, like, really awesome to him. I mean, it's really no surprise because he cleaned her poop and her everything, like, for moons. So
Alright.
I would be nice to someone who did that for me as well. And he fed her when he shouldn't have, so.
It's kind of like, more like, instead of Yellowfang and Bluestar being Fireheart's mothers, it's more like Bluestar being his mother and Yellowfang being his grandma.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But how old was Bluestar when Firestar came into the clan?
I'm not sure how old she was.
But she could have been his grandmother too, kind of, I think. Maybe, possibly.
Well, no, because he was about the same age as her kids.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe her kids were a bit older, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit though.
But like when you look at the rest of Bluestar's family, Misty Star had the same unfortunate fate as her mother in losing her mate and like almost all of her kids.
Yeah.
It's just like something that runs in the family. I mean, Oakland got killed by a rock fall.
Right, like Bluestar's family kind of had a lot of bad luck.
Yeah, as well as Crooked Stars.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Bluestar believing Tiger Star? We kind of discussed this earlier. I feel a rant building up.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, that's totally a rant. I just really think she was stupid to have believed in him. I mean, he was a good warrior. Scratch that, he was an awesome warrior. He was really powerful. He's still labeled as the most powerful cat in the Old Forest, and I agree with that statement. Mm-hmm. But really, it was obvious he was behind her back, as I said before. I don't want to repeat myself too much. You know, and like, he was like acting really rude towards Firestar, and she didn't even notice. And I'm like, where are you? This is your clan. You have to look at what other cats are doing to other cats, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And how he threatened his own apprentice. I mean, who would notice that? Ravenpaw was all scared and everything. I would have been like, hey, Ravenpaw, what's wrong? And I feel that Ravenpaw would have actually maybe told her what was wrong, since Bluestar is to be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have solved his problem, and he would have stayed in ThunderClan. But no, Bluestar had to be all weird and not look at what her clan was doing.
I can kind of understand, like, I understand all of that because I'm a person who doesn't trust a lot of people.
Same.
But when I do, like, when I do trust somebody, like, they cannot betray me. Like, anything anybody tells me is not true. Like, somebody will tell me, and this has happened, like, quite recently. Somebody will tell me something, so-and-so is doing this behind your back, and I'm like, no, they're not. And it's kind of partly me in denial, but part of me wants to believe that that person would never betray me. So I kind of understand, like, when you really, really trust someone, you don't want to believe that they would ever do anything to betray you.
Yeah, so, I get that, because a lot of people tell me that, like, my online friends are gonna, like, betray me or something, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen, and it actually did happen, like, once, so, you know, I didn't want to believe anybody.
Yeah, so I can kind of understand that, and I kind of understand, like, how she lost her mind, because, you know, when something like that happens, when you trust somebody that much and you end up being wrong, I feel like Bluestar might have been a little bit in denial. I'm not sure if she, like, completely didn't believe the things that the apprentices were telling her. I feel like maybe she might have been a little bit in denial. Like, she knew Tiger Star's true nature, but didn't want to, you know, I don't feel like she wanted to believe it. I find it kind of weird that he was the cat that she sought to have trust in, when he was the apprentice of one of the cats that she hated the most in ThunderClan.
Yeah, that's true. That actually, I never really thought about it, and there's just it's just gone to my now. Like, oh yeah, that's true, because she really hated Thistleclaw.
Right.
How would she trust Tigerclaw?
Yeah, it's like it's kind of weird, but I don't know why she chose to trust him over any other cat, but I can understand like why she would go insane as well. Because when you trust somebody so much and they betray you, it's just like, you know, it probably
Yeah.
blew her mind. But I think it was a combination of that and like all of her losses: Snowfur, Moonflower, her father, Oakheart, and then having to give up her kids. I think it was more things than just Tiger Star
Yeah.
or Tiger Claw. I feel like Tiger Claw was just the last straw.
Yeah. But in the end, like, it wasn't even his betrayal that broke her. It was the fact that he became leader of Shadow Clan. Because
Yeah,
that's when she snapped.
right.
I think I have one more question. Yeah. How did you feel when Bluestar died?
Let me just say that I was so devastated, but I haven't cried that many times when cats die because I kind of got used to it because the
Yeah.
Aarons kill off so many cats.
Yeah, unfortunately they do. They should really stop doing that.
Firestar wasn't even one of my favorite characters, and I cried when he died just because he had been around like for so many arcs that I was just like kind of attached. He'd been there since the very beginning. I was kind of
Yes.
attached without even realizing it. He's not even one of my favorite cats. I won't say that I dislike him. My opinion of him is kind of neutral, but I still cried because he'd just been around for so long.
Yeah, I remember I cried so hard, I sobbed, and he wasn't even one of my favorite cats. Like, there was always Sandstorm and Spiderleaf before him, but I just cried so hard because it was like some part of me was gone since he was there since the beginning, and he's like the first cat like whose name I really loved in the alliances because I really love fire, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Firepaw. He has to be an awesome cat. And then now he's gone, and he died in such kind of a stupid way. I think they should have made him like kill Tiger Star and live for a little bit longer than die of old age or something. Not like that. It was
Yeah.
just kind of in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that it was a good finale, if you would say, like for The Last Hope. But I mean, it would have been better had they not continued the series because now I know that they're going to continue the series. But anyway, the only two other cats other than Firestar that I cried when they died were Cinderpelt and Bluestar. And Bluestar was actually one of my favorite characters. Cinderpelt didn't become a favorite character until after she died. But Bluestar had been like my favorite character in the first series. So when she died, you can imagine, I was like, that's like Mothwing dying now.
Oh my gosh, don't do that. Like I can
Right, like if
imagine.
Mothwing died in the next arc, you know how devastated I would be. So I was pretty devastated when Bluestar died, and it was such a well-written death that
Yeah.
like I was so happy because I was starting to worry. Like I knew that Bluestar was gonna die, but I was worried that she was gonna die insane or something. That was like my biggest fear. I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, she's gonna die and she's gonna be crazy when she dies and everything. And it just made me so much like more happy, and it made her death like a little bit less saddening when she kind of regained her sanity a few moments before death and was like, "Oh no, I trust you," and
Yeah, and one of my favorite moments of all time is when Stonefur and Mistyfoot finally forgive her,
right,
and it's like so nice. I was like so happy and sad at the same time, and I still remember Blue Star saying it's one of my favorite quotes. When she said Firestar, like Fireheart, you will be the leader of the clan. Firestar, the light of the forest. And
yeah,
I'm like, that's so nice.
right. Blue
Especially
Star's
with,
talking about Blue Star's death. It brings back so many feels.
mm,
But
I can still remember reading it. I read it like, I don't know, 3 years ago, and I can still remember it like it was yesterday.
right. And it happened in A Dangerous Path. So as I was saying earlier, that's why it's my favorite book. Not because I was happy that Blue Star died, but just because um, most of my favorite books have like major deaths in them, and I think it's just because like it adds more to the story, but also it like kind of moves you emotionally. So I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah, it
Even
is
though
definitely.
even though it'll kind of like make you cry and everything, it's still good that the Aarons are able to do that. Like when I'm writing a death scene in my own series, I'm like, I gotta make people cry when I do this. And it's just because people will continue reading the series just because if a book can make you cry, the author's doing something right.
Yeah.
So I probably cried the hardest at either Bluestar or Cinderpearl's deaths, but I don't know. It was just a really well written death. That's why I liked A Dangerous Path so much.
I didn't actually cry when Bluestar died. Not because I wasn't sad. I was really sad, but I wasn't at that point, like at that period when I started crying over cats that
Yeah.
died. Because before I was like, oh my god, that's stupid. It's just a book. I'm not gonna cry about it. But later on, I began to cry over like every single cat's death. Like I cried when Dustbelt died. I cried when I saw Rain Pine Starclan. I cried a lot of times, especially for Firestar. What else? Who else died? Um, I almost cried for Seedpaw. Then in the newest Dawn of the Clans, I cried at the beginning of the book, like when they bury all of the dead from the first battle. I cried over all of those cats and
Yeah.
like a lot of them.
Bluestar was the first character that that's death made me cry, but I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think so.
I always say the same thing when we're about to finish. I'm like, well, that about
Yeah.
wraps it up, just like a sub.
Yeah. But it's not bad that you always say the same thing. I mean, it works.
Right.
Alright, guys, well, we'll see you on Thursday. I'm Spirit Blaze, that's Flame Call, and
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye.